Something just exploded in the WNBA. And no, it wasn't a buzzer beater or a trade deadline shocker. Caitlin Clark, while injured and fresh off a string of controversial performances, has been voted not only into the WNBA All-Star Game, but as its captain. And the internet has completely lost its mind. She didn't just lead the vote count, she obliterated it. 1.3 million votes. That's more than every All-Star in 2023 combined. And the reaction? Pure chaos. Fans calling it rigged. Veterans side-eyeing her inclusion. Media insiders getting attacked for putting her on their ballots. This isn't a feel-good story. It's a firestorm. Clark hasn't played a game in over a week. Her assist-to-turnover ratio has been questioned all season. She's had electric highs and brutal lows. Yet here she is, the face of All-Star Weekend. And it's not just the fans who are upset. Rival players, coaches, and hardcore analysts are raising eyebrows. How does someone miss this many games, put up inconsistent numbers, and still become the most powerful player on the floor? Simple. She doesn't follow the rules. She rewrites them. This video breaks it all down. The backlash, the numbers, the silent panic spreading through rival fan bases, and why Caitlin Clark's All-Star captaincy might be the most disruptive and brilliant moment the WNBA has ever seen. Strap in, because this isn't just a vote, it's a power shift.
So lads, Caitlin Clark led the WNBA in All-Star voting. Obviously led the WNBA in All-Star voting. Like, I don't think anyone is shocked by that. If somebody is surprised by Caitlin Clark,
the WNBA All-Star results are in, and Caitlin Clark didn't just make the cut, she obliterated it. While still technically sidelined, Clark pulled a staggering 1.3 million votes, more than every All-Star combined in 2023. That stat alone rewrites how we talk about influence in women's basketball. But here's the kicker. Nobody's actually surprised. The league didn't just want Clark in the All-Star game. They needed her. Viewership, engagement, jersey sales, everything rises when she's involved. So much so that her presence has become a financial necessity, not just a basketball one. Yet beneath the headline lies chaos. Fans and rival supporters are losing it. Not because she was voted in, but because it was this easy. Her performance has been polarizing. She's had off nights, turnovers, and yes, she's injured right now. And despite that, still captain, still leading votes by a landslide. This moment isn't just about stats, it's about power. Clark's presence is bending the WNBA into a new shape, and people are either celebrating that or sharpening their pitchforks. But one thing's undeniable. Love her or hate her, Clark is the main character, and the WNBA just gave her the biggest spotlight of all. Let that sink in.
Most All-Star votes of all time, close to 1.3 million. Caitlin Clark had more votes than every single All-Star in 2023 combined.
Caitlin Clark, in her rookie season, while injured, racked up more All-Star votes than the entire field did the year before. That's not just popularity, it's cultural takeover. You can argue about whether she's the best guard, you can even argue about if she should be starting, but what you can't argue is relevance. Clark isn't just at the center of WNBA conversation, she is the conversation. And that's what's driving so many people off the rails. The WNBA has had legends, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Maya Moore, icons. But none of them broke the All-Star system like this. Clark's wave of support is loud, youthful, and relentless. It's TikTok, it's Twitter, it's middle school girls buying jerseys, it's 50-year-old men hate watching every Fever game, and it's all happening at once. What makes it worse for the critics? The vote wasn't close. No last-minute drama. Just pure, overwhelming force. You'd think her being injured would slow the momentum, but it did the opposite. It turned her into a cause, a battle line, and everyone picked a side. That kind of divisive star power? It's rare. The WNBA hasn't just found a player, it's found its most explosive catalyst in decades.
And their logic was, she hasn't played enough games. And the 4 All-Stars were Alicia Gray. Like, has Sabrina, Caitlin's been better than Sabrina.
Now let's talk basketball. Strip away the noise, the politics, the social media brawls, and you're left with a critical question. Does Caitlin Clark deserve to be an all-star starter based on performance? And the surprising answer from many analysts? Yes, barely, but yes. Outside of Alicia Gray, the list of guards clearly outperforming Clark is short. Sure, she's had high turnovers. Sure, she's missed games. But she's also posted historic 20, 10 nights, dropped near triple doubles, and carried the fever through chaotic stretches. She's a rookie navigating veteran traps while still leading in assists and orchestrating an offense that simply doesn't function without her. Critics want to throw names like Skylar Diggins, Kelsey Plum, or even Sabrina into the mix, but every time you line up the games, the stats, the wins, Clark holds her ground. And that's exactly what frustrates the haters. They want a clear-cut reason to dismiss her. They want anyone else to be more deserving. But the numbers, messy as they are, keep backing her case. This isn't fan fiction. It's cold, frustrating reality for WNBA purists. And it's the reason the All-Star vote has become ground zero for the league's identity crisis.
So lads, Caitlin Clark got voted in as a team captain. She was officially voted in as a team captain.
This wasn't just a win, it was a takeover. Clark didn't just make the All-Star team, she commanded it. Captain status. The role usually reserved for grizzled vets or MVP frontrunners now belongs to a rookie who's missed games, sparked controversy, and still sits on the injury report. That kind of leap? It's unprecedented in WNBA history. But what makes this moment volcanic is what it represents. Clark's captaincy is symbolic. She's not just starting, she's choosing. She'll literally handpick her team, meaning her fingerprints will be all over the All-Star narrative. And in a league where status has been earned through years of grind, that kind of instant influence feels like a slap to some veterans' faces. That's why rival fans are erupting. They don't see a celebration, they see a coronation. A rookie, hobbling from a groin injury, walks into the All-Star game and gets the crown? It's too much for the "she hasn't earned it yet" crowd. But the reality is, Clark did what no one else could. She hijacked attention in a way this league hasn't seen since Lisa Leslie dunked or when Maya Moore dominated prime time. The captain title isn't just about skill, it's about magnetism. And whether she's playing or not, Clark's orbit is already pulling the entire WNBA around her.
Yeah, the fans are, and I don't even mean the fans, I mean the Hatelins. The Hatelins. We know what they are. There's no point calling them fans. But actually, you know what? No. I think there is a good point in calling them fans, because that's what they are. They are fans. They are Caitlin's second biggest fan group.
Let's talk about the elephant in the gym, the hate watchers. They call her overrated, overhyped, and overexposed, but they never stop watching. They obsessively track her stats, wait for her to fall, and flood social media every time she turns the ball over. And yet, they're keeping her name alive more than any PR campaign ever could. This paradox is exactly why Caitlin Clark won the All-Star vote by a landslide. The fan base isn't just made of supporters, it's made of haters too. And in today's algorithm-driven world, outrage is currency. Clark's name drives engagement, engagement drives votes, and votes make captains. In truth, Clark's biggest strength might not be her jump shot, it's her polarizing presence. The WNBA, whether it likes it or not, has its own LeBron Jordan-style lightning rod. Clark is simultaneously the most beloved and the most critiqued athlete in the league. And that's exactly why her captaincy isn't just justified, it's inevitable. She didn't ask for the hate, but she's thriving on the attention. And in a media economy where visibility rules, the haters are just another arm of her growing empire. Congratulations, your outrage got her elected.
To the whole team tomorrow in the Tuesday in the Commissioner Cup final.
Yeah, we better get that dub, Kathy.
Yeah. Is she playing? Like, she's at practice, by the way.
When the WNBA commissioner herself picks up the phone to congratulate you personally, that's not just a formality, that's marketing gold. And that's exactly what happened. Kathy Engelbert didn't send an email or release a statement. She called Caitlin Clark. Why? Because this wasn't just a player selection, it was a brand moment. Let's be honest, the WNBA is in the middle of a massive visibility boom, and Clark is its engine. The league knows it, the media knows it, Nike knows it. So when Clark was named captain, the commissioner seized the moment to turn it into a headline. That's smart business, but it's also a line in the sand. To critics, it felt like confirmation that the league is prioritizing popularity over merit. That Clark is being handed power because she prints money, not because of her resume. And to be fair, they're not entirely wrong. This is business. But guess what? Business is what keeps this league alive. So the commissioner made the right call, literally and symbolically. Caitlin isn't just a player anymore. She's a franchise, a media draw, a marketing anchor. And whether she drops 30 or 3, the cameras are going to follow her. Engelbert didn't just congratulate a player, she endorsed a movement.
She's averaging more points per game. By the way, she was a starter. She was a starter last year in the All-Star Game. And this year, she averaged more points.
This is the part no one wants to admit. Caitlin Clark didn't just win the All-Star vote, she won the fan war. While rival fan bases were busy dissecting her body language, breaking down her frowns, and criticizing her every interaction with referees, Clark's fans were casting votes. Thousands of them, over and over. That's the brutal truth behind her dominance. The other side spent their time tweeting essays. Clark's side, clicking, engaging, voting. It's not about being more right, it's about being more active. And in the age of public voting, silence is surrender. Page fans, Angel fans, Dallas Wings loyalists, they all had a chance to shift the outcome. They didn't. So now they're left with think pieces and meltdown threads. What's wild is how predictable this was. Clark is the center of attention in every game she plays. Win or lose, her name trends. She's the one who makes national headlines even when injured. And that type of gravity draws in both supporters and haters, but only one side showed up when the vote opened. So here's the takeaway. If you want to keep her out of the spotlight, you can't just complain about the system. You have to beat her at it. And right now, no one's even close.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Because everyone knew the fan voting, the media voting could guarantee Caitlin as a starter. And once Caitlin's a starter, it means that she's a guarantee. She's a guaranteed captain because she's the biggest voter. But yeah, that is.
The game was rigged, and everyone knew it. Not in some shady conspiracy way, but in a cold, calculated, inevitable way. As soon as Caitlin Clark led the fan vote, and everyone expected her to, the media portion became the final stamp. There was never a world where the league was going to let its biggest draw sit on the bench. And honestly, can you blame them? Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete anymore. She's a business model. She lifts viewership, ticket sales, merch, and media narratives. Putting her at the center of All-Star Weekend isn't favoritism, it's survival. The WNBA needs this momentum. The media knows it, the league knows it, and by now, the fans know it too. Still, this logic is driving diehards insane. They believe in the sanctity of performance, minutes played, games won, stats logged, and when they see Clark jump the line, they feel betrayed. But here's the reality. All-Star games have never been pure meritocracies. They're showtime. They're hype machines. And Clark is the headliner. She didn't manipulate the rules. She played them perfectly. She didn't need to be flawless. She just needed to be unignorable. And if you're still talking about her, she's already won.
They'll go and they'll attack the media. They'll attack everyone. And again, they've latched on to Paige Beckers, who, let's be real, Paige Beckers is unbelievable. Paige Beckers is unbelievable. And it's not like Paige and Caitlin aren't friends. Like, they're competitors, but these are former USA teammates. These are friends. These are players that when they'll meet up or when they're in the same place with non-basketball things are friendly with each other.
This rivalry has gone way beyond basketball. It's personal, tribal, almost religious. What we're witnessing isn't just about who plays better. It's about identity. For every Clark fan, there's a Paige Beckers diehard ready to counterpunch. For every highlight, there's a subtweet. And when the All-Star votes came in, the dam burst. Suddenly, it wasn't enough to root for your player. You had to destroy the other. And Caitlin Clark, sitting injured, still managed to dominate the conversation. So what do rival fans do when their favorite doesn't make it? They go for the jugular. They blame the media. They shout rigged. They claim it's all hype, that Clark doesn't deserve it. And they do it not because Clark is unworthy, but because she's winning. The Paige versus. Caitlin dynamic has echoes of classic sports rivalries. Bird versus. Magic. Serena versus. Sharapova. Ronaldo versus. Messi. But this one's messier, because it's unfolding in real time through social media, TikToks, and 280-character rants. It's not just what Clark does on the court, it's what she represents. Change. Disruption. And that threatens everything traditional fans thought they understood about this league. At its core, this isn't about fairness. It's about control. And Clark just took it. So now the dust has settled, kind of. And here we are, Caitlin Clark, rookie, injured, all-star captain, and undisputed center of the WNBA universe. Let's ask the uncomfortable question, was this fair? It depends on what you think all-star games are about. Is it strictly stats, minutes played, impact per possession, or is it hype, relevance, and what moves the needle? Because if it's the latter, then Caitlin Clark might be the most qualified all-star the league has ever seen. Let's not kid ourselves. The WNBA needs her, badly. Attendance, viewership, media deals, it's all up since Clark arrived. Her games are televised when others aren't. Her highlights trend when others fade into silence. This isn't just about skill, it's about visibility. She's doing for the league what a rookie shouldn't be able to do. But she is, and that breaks people's brains. That's why the response has been so hostile. Fans aren't just mad she made it, they're mad she made it easily. They're mad she's the captain, that she'll be choosing teams, that she didn't need unanimous respect to become a headline. Because it proves something most people don't want to admit. Popularity wins, power wins, and Clark, for better or worse, has both in historic doses. Meanwhile, rival fans are burning up in their own contradictions. They call her overrated while watching every play. They say she's media-made while obsessively tracking her every stat. They cry foul over the system, but never mobilize their own support. They lost. Not just in the vote, but in the narrative war. And that stings worse than any all-star snub. So here's the real story. Clark isn't just in the game, she's controlling it. The WNBA didn't hand her this role, the fans did. The media sealed it. And the league? It leaned into it, because it knows what's coming. Like it or not, we've entered the Caitlin Clark era. And if this is what it looks like while she's injured, imagine what happens when she's healthy, rested, and angry. The real question isn't whether she deserved the votes. It's this. What happens to everyone else now that she's the captain? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should she have made it? Should she have been captain? Or are we witnessing a once-in-a-generation shift the league just has to ride?